afternoon, social media friends. Whether you are local to me, my guest today in this first episode of Solar Powered Living, we welcome you. Because yesterday for 50% of us was a holiday. 50% of us today feel like, oh my gosh, today feels like Monday. And yes, it kind of does. Not to mention, for both myself and my guests, today we are experiencing, even though the sun is out, which certainly supports the topic of our live stream episode, it's bitterly cold. So for those of us whose profession is working outdoors, my hat's off to you for being able to weather the bitter cold. And we certainly are thankful, right? So for those of you who are in the business of construction, first responders, the list keeps going on and on. The rest of us that get to live in a warm, cozy environment, we're absolutely thankful for you. Today, I've got a guest who has been kind enough to join me to engage me and to share with you our live stream conversation about solar powered living. So who is this conversation really for? Well, I'm going to be very specific right now, right here. Could it be for you who is thinking about adopting solar living at your current home, at the next home that you want to move to, and or for those of you who are thinking renewable energy, you want to save money on some of your utilities, utility expenses like with ComEd, of course, and maybe for many of you who have already adopted a solar lifestyle because you are the proud owner of one or two or three electric vehicles. So with all of that said, my guest today, his name is Petru Olineac. I want to welcome him into the studio, and as part of welcoming him into the studio, because he's not coming into the studio from the bitter cold, thank God, Petru, but let's give him a rock star warm welcome. So Petru, let me get my fan base and your fan base to give you that rock star welcome. Here we go. Yes, all of these friends of ours have thought about adopting solar. If not, they are EV owners, right? You see them.
Yes. Hello, William. Hello, everyone. Thank you, William, for this chance, for this opportunity to be here and to share my experience, my knowledge with everyone. And I hope that the solar industry will grow much more, and it's gonna be much bigger, and more people will understand that it's not about the future; it's about the today. It's the future. It's already here. The same like a few years ago when we heard about the AI. We all heard it's gonna be about the future, but no, it's already now. It's in this moment, in this day, in this second.
It's already here. I mean, I can certainly speak from my own perspective, my backyard. I have seen more and more of my neighbors here in the upper Midwest, in the Chicago suburbs, adopt solar. Why? Because I see it on part of their roof, right?
Yes, that's right.
And you and I both know along the way we've seen the adoption, whether it's slow or fast. We've seen the adoption of more EVs on the roads and so forth. So Petru, for those social media friends who don't know who you are, why don't you lead off our conversation giving yourself an introduction. What is it that you do? Why do you do it? And then we'll move our conversation into actually, for people who want to adopt solar, we're going to share with them some things that you need to know today. So let's go.
Okay, yes, sure. So my name is Petru. I'm a solar energy consultant, and me and with my team, with my colleagues, we are helping the people to reduce their electric bill. Because how you know, like everything, it's going like up prices and everything, and the same in the electric bill.
Yes.
Yes, I'm doing that because first of all, I used to study in the college, the electricity field, and I like to do that. And the second one, I like to help people, and I like to make this world better. So this is the perfect opportunity for me to combine all of those things.
Okay. And as a solar consultant, are you Petru an independent consultant? Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, yes, sure. So usually, I work for a company. They are helping me, but yes, I am like independent, yeah, consultant.
Okay. What should our audience members know from you as a consultant? What should they know immediately if they are thinking about or on the edge right now of adopting solar living?
Okay, and it's a good question. So, the first of all, the first, let's say, the biggest problem that I see every day, the people think that that's a scam. That's a scam, like another scams that was before, and they are afraid even to ask someone, to ask a consultant, to ask a professional more about this information. So the first step for everyone will be to take a consultation. It's free to ask all of the questions that they need to ask, everything that they have to know.
Mm-hmm.
And me as a consultant, I'll tell them all the information that they have to know. I will give them a quote. I will see even if it's possible to install all of the solar panels on their houses, because I mean, not all houses like will be good for that.
True.
After that, if the numbers will make sense,
Okay.
the people, I mean, we will be able to go future.
Is it easier to implement a solar system on a home where the roof is not reaching its end of useful life? Meaning the roof must be able to support the system, correct?
Yes, I got you. So there is, first of all, there is multiple types of let's say like how to purchase the solar panels. There is the first of all, and the simplest one is just to buy them cash, to pay all of the money down. The second one is to lease them.
Right.
Usually the leasing is for 25 years. And
Right.
we also are working with people like who want to combine them, and we're working with financing, like
Okay.
they
Gotcha.
want to finance them. And in all three of these methods, so the biggest problem in the roofs is that they don't have to be too old.
Oh, okay.
Because yeah, for example, if you take a lease for 25 years and the roof is already like 20 years old, I mean, you don't want to install those panels and in a few years to change, to take them out, change the roof, and after that putting them back, you know.
Right. Right.
So every time we're checking when asking the customers how old are their roofs. Yeah, we're checking what kind of materials are they made, and just after that we can make them a quote and
Okay.
go future. Yes.
Okay. That makes sense. So what I think I'm hearing you say is the remaining life of the roof must be able to support the length of time that the solar is going to be installed on. Whether someone is, as you mentioned, they have the choice of either owning it outright
Yes, yes, that's right.
making the bigger dollar investment up front, or leasing it over time, kind of like either buy and own the car or lease it. Similar
Yes,
concept,
that's
right?
right. Yes.
All right. Besides yourself, Petru, who are the other resources? What are the other professions that would make up a solar dream team? So I know the conversations always start with you. The sizing up of the opportunity leads with you. But who are the others that help implement the solution?
Okay, so as a clients, we work also with business owners. Like we're doing also the residential, and we're doing also like commercial.
Okay.
Because yeah, like every business owner, like everyone wanted to pay less in their expenses, right?
Right.
And it's a perfect opportunity, yes. And on other hand, we're like working also with roofers, the people who work in roofing industry, the people who work in like financials, tax advisors. Yeah, because I mean they are helping their clients, and we're trying also to help them how we can,
Okay.
and they are helping us. Yes.
What about electricians? The reason why I asked that dumb, naive question is because doesn't the home have to have an electrical network to be able to support solar powered living?
Uh, yes and no in both cases,
Okay.
because even we had uh, houses that we implemented, we installed solar panels. They were from Wisconsin,
Okay.
and they weren't connected to the grid.
Okay.
It was like a cabin or a vacation house and something like that. Yes, so I mean, in both cases, it's possible to install solar panels.
Okay.
Either it's connected to the grid or either not.
Okay. Uh, so that's a choice. Um, but for the home's infrastructure, do they have to have like a 200 amp service to be able to support the adoption of solar panels?
Yes, yes, usually yes, and
Okay.
I mean every house has that standard. I mean it's like 99% of houses uh, can use the energy of solar panels. Yes.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So as we wrap up our conversation today with my guest Petru, you've heard it from him. As an independent solar consultant, the choice is clearly in front of you as to whether you want to adopt it by owning your system on your roof or leasing it over time. And it seems like the amount of time is up to 25 years. Now, with this said, I want to share with our audience today, Petru, my company on the financial services side of the business. We actually offer a financial solution for those households that want to adopt solar powered living. And how we do so is we fund your purchase of a home with new installation of solar. So we help you in owning this system going forward. Um, and we're helping you kill two birds with one stone, which is we help you own the system through the mortgage that you will be using to buy this next home, and through incentives. Given our partnership with a solar business, we extend those incentives to you as down payment assistance. So, as we wrap up today's episode, Petru, thank you for sharing your words of advice, the approach that households must and start to think about, and of course, how they can engage you in a conversation. Is it easy for our social media audience to find you on social media? Is it as simple as simply Google searching your name?
Yes, yes, and my Instagram is just solar.petru. I mean, it's very simple to find me.
Perfect, perfect. And so, audience members, you heard it from Petru. By the way, I did hit his Instagram feed. He's got some interesting content in there. And by the way, he's kind of the real deal, because some of his Instagram content, you actually see him sleeves rolled up on a roof, working his mojo. So, Petru, thank you for joining me as our guest today in Solar Powered Living. Audience members, if you would like to learn more about our solar down payment assistance solution, because you're leaning more toward owning a system as opposed to leasing a system, it's real simple. How can you start a conversation with me? Simply scan the QR code that you see here, and I can engage you in a conversation. And along the way, if you simply cannot find Petru through Instagram, heck, I'll be your hero. I'll broker a warm introduction between you and Petru, our independent solar consultant. So as we wrap up, let me ask my music posse to play us out. Here we go.